Nobody knew the quiet school bus driver was trained to defuse bombs until one morning when 847 children's lives depended on her keeping a deadly secret. This story begins at 7:42 a.m. on what seemed like an ordinary Tuesday at Riverside Elementary School, when Emma Clarke received a phone call that would force her to choose between revealing her dangerous past or watching innocent children die. Emma Clarke, 34 years old, had been working as a school bus driver at Riverside Elementary for 3 peaceful years. Her brown hair was always pulled back in a practical ponytail, her blue uniform was always clean and pressed, and her smile was so genuine that the children called her Miss Emma. Every morning at exactly 6:15 a.m., she began her day by conducting safety checks on Bus 47, ensuring every mirror, brake, and safety system was perfect for the 52 children who trusted her with their lives. The students, parents, and teachers at Riverside Elementary adored Emma. She knew every child's name, remembered their birthdays, and helped those struggling with math homework. Her bus always had extra snacks available, a first aid kit ready for minor injuries, and an atmosphere so warm that children actually looked forward to their commute. In their eyes, she wasn't just someone who safely transported them home. She was someone who brightened their days. But there were things about Emma's past that nobody knew. Before becoming a school bus driver, she had served as Captain Emma Clarke in the United States Army as an explosive ordnance disposal specialist. She had completed 3 tours in Iran, Afghanistan, and Iraq, successfully neutralizing 127 different explosive devices. From robotic arms to manual manipulation, from improvised explosive devices to advanced timer systems, she possessed expert knowledge about every type of explosive system imaginable. But Emma had left that life behind. Too much stress, too many life or death moments, too many bombs exploding in her dreams. When she left the military, she wanted only a peaceful, safe job. The innocence of children was healing her. Every day brought the same route, the same faces, the same secure routine. This Tuesday morning had started like any other. Emma arrived at school at 6:15 a.m., conducted her bus inspection, checked fuel levels, examined tires, and tested the brake system. At 7:30 a.m., she began picking up her first group of children. Little Marcus was excited as always to show off his baseball cards. Sarah was trying to finish her math homework on the bus. Tommy and Jessica, the sibling duo, were having their usual argument over the window seat. At 7:42 a.m., the phone rang. Emma looked at her phone while helping Marcus climb the bus steps. Unknown number. Normally she wouldn't answer, but something made her pick up. "Emma Clarke?" asked the voice on the other end. "Yes, this is Emma. Who's calling?" "This is Detective Morrison from Riverside Police Department. We have a situation at your school. Someone called in a bomb threat, and they specifically mentioned Bus 47. How quickly can you get those children off that bus?" Emma's heart stopped. The phone in her hand felt like it weighed 50 pounds. There were currently 28 children on her bus, all chatting and laughing innocently. Little Marcus was still talking about his baseball cards. "Detective Morrison, there are currently 28 children on the bus. What kind of bomb threat?" Anonymous call. However, the caller provided very specific details. Bus 47 said it would detonate when you reach the school gate at 8 a.m. "Emma, you need to get these children to safety immediately." Emma looked up at the children on her bus. Sarah was still working on her math homework. Tommy and Jessica were still arguing at the window. The older kids in the back were playing a game. None of them realized the danger. "Detective, where's the bomb disposal unit?" "The nearest EOD team is 45 minutes away. I'm on site as police, but I'm not an explosives expert. Emma, just get the children to safety. We'll handle the situation." Emma hung up the phone. Her hands were trembling. But this wasn't fear. This was the adrenaline rush she had stopped feeling 3 years ago. Her body was automatically beginning to remember her old training. But first, she needed to get the children to safety. "Children," Emma called out, looking in her mirror, "we're going to make a small change today. Before we go to school, we're going to stop at the park." "Why, Miss Emma?" asked Sarah. "Surprise," Emma tried to smile. "Sometimes in life, we need little surprises." Emma diverted the bus from the school route and headed toward Meadowbrook Park, 2 kilometers away. The children were delighted by this unexpected change. The park was a safe location with wide open spaces, far from any buildings. As soon as the children got off the bus, they ran to the playground. Emma opened her phone and called Detective Morrison. "The children are in a safe location. Now tell me everything you know about the bomb." "Emma, you're just a bus driver. Leave this to the professionals." "Detective Morrison." Emma's voice suddenly became very serious. "There's something I didn't tell you. I am a professional when it comes to bombs. I served as an EOD specialist in the United States Army for 8 years. If there really is a bomb at the school and other children are still there, I can help you." Captain Emma Clarke, 847th Explosive Ordnance Disposal Company. 47 devices neutralized in Iraq, 38 in Afghanistan, 42 on the Iranian border. All manually disposed. Detective Morrison, how many children are currently in that school? 819 children are still in the school. We're trying to evacuate, but we don't want to cause panic. Emma closed her eyes. 819 children, each one someone's most precious treasure, each one a future, a hope, a life full of stories. "I'm coming." When Emma arrived at school, there was chaos. Police cars, fire trucks, ambulances. Children were being evacuated from the building in an orderly fashion, but too slowly. At least 300 children were still in the building. Detective Morrison ran to her when he saw Emma. "Emma, are you really a bomb expert?" "Captain Emma Clarke, 847th EOD. Give me a situation report." Morrison was surprised by Emma's sudden military demeanor. "We found a device in the basement in the main system room. Police dog alerted, but we couldn't get close. It looks very complex." "Timer type? Digital display, red numbers, counting down." Emma gathered the tools she could find in the maintenance room. Wire cutters, various screwdrivers, a flashlight, gardening gloves. It wasn't perfect EOD equipment, but it could work. As Emma walked toward the basement, she remembered her last mission in Afghanistan. Hidden bomb in village school. 200 children, successful disposal. She would succeed this time, too. The basement was cold and damp. The main system room was where the building's electrical, water, and heating systems were located. And in the corner, inside a metal box, was a device counting down with a red digital display. David Sark Siem, David Sark Schist, David Sark Piat. When Emma approached the device, all her old knowledge came back. This wasn't professional work. The cables were amateurishly connected, but the bomb was real. C4 explosive, approximately 2 kilograms, enough to bring down the building. But the timer system looked familiar, the type she had seen in Iraq. Simple, but effective. Emma opened her phone and called Morrison. "Morrison, the bomb is real. 2 kilograms C4, enough to collapse the building's foundation. But it can be disposed of. How's the evacuation?" 150 children still remain. We need at least 8 more minutes. Emma looked at the display. 851, 850, 849. She had 8 minutes 49 seconds. Emma took a deep breath and began examining the bomb. There were 3 cables, red, blue, yellow. Classic setup, red power, blue ground, yellow trigger. But there could also be a trap wire. Using the flashlight, she examined the bottom of the device. Yes, there was a 4th cable, green, hidden. Trap wire. If she cut the wrong cable, the bomb would detonate instantly. 7 மணி 23 நிமிடம், 7 மணி 22 நிமிடம், 7 மணி 21 நிமிடம். Emma's hands weren't shaking. Her heart had calmed. This was her world. This was work she knew. Using the multimeter, she measured the current in each cable. 12 volts from red cable, blue cable ground, trigger signal in yellow cable, green cable, something unexpected. The green cable was a backup power source. This bomb had a dual security system. If you cut the main power, backup would activate. If you cut the backup, the main system would trigger instantly. She had to cut both simultaneously. 6 மணி 15 நிமிடம், 6 மணி 14 நிமிடம், 6 மணி 13 நிமிடம். Emma prepared the wire cutters. Right hand for red cable, left hand for green cable. Simultaneously, with millisecond precision, 447, 446, 445. Emma took a deep breath, closed her eyes, then opened them. 3 dots, 2 dots, 1 dot, dot, dot. She cut both cables simultaneously. The screen went dark. Silence. Emma's heart was pounding. She had succeeded. The bomb had been neutralized. She opened her phone. Morrison, bomb disposed. Children are safe. Emma, you're a real hero. I just did my job, Morrison. Just my job. When Emma came up from the basement, hundreds of children gathered in the schoolyard started applauding when they saw her. Teachers, parents, police officers. Everyone was looking at Emma. But Emma was thinking about only one thing. The 28 children at Meadowbrook Park, Marcus's baseball cards, Sarah's math homework, Tommy and Jessica's window seat arguments, her real family. Emma got in her bus and headed toward the park, with the peace of knowing that 819 children would safely go home behind her. When she arrived at the park, the children were still playing. Marcus on the swings, Sarah on the slide, Tommy and Jessica running around. When they saw Emma, they ran to her. "Miss Emma, where were you?" "I had to handle a small job, sweetheart. But now I'm here." "Can I tell you about those baseball cards now?" Emma smiled, a real smile. "Of course, Marcus. Tell me about all of them." That day, as Emma drove the children home, she looked at them in her mirror. They were still the same innocent children. Marcus was still talking about his baseball cards. Sarah had finished her math homework. Tommy and Jessica were still arguing at the window. Nothing had changed. But actually, everything had changed. Emma had saved the lives of 819 children that day. But more importantly, she had made peace with her past. Her bomb disposal skills could now be used not just on battlefields, but to protect children. That evening at home, Emma looked at her old military uniform. She might not wear it anymore, but the soldier inside her had never left. She had just found a new mission, safely transporting 52 children to and from school every day. And this mission was the most important duty she had ever performed. The next morning, Emma came to work at 6:15 a.m. as usual. She checked the bus, tested the safety systems, but this time, not just for mechanical failures, but for different kinds of dangers too. Because Emma Clarke was no longer just a school bus driver. She was a secret hero protecting children, and this secret was her greatest strength. When the first child, Marcus, got on the bus, he asked, "Miss Emma, can I tell you about my baseball cards today too?" Emma smiled. "Of course, sweetheart. Always." And on that ordinary Wednesday morning, nobody knew that Emma had saved the lives of 819 children the day before. For her, this was perfect. Real heroes quietly perform their duties, then continue with their normal lives, just like Emma.